There's something about Ireland, isn't there? That feeling you get thinking about soft rain on old stone streets, or maybe just a friendly smile from someone you pass.
Yes, it definitely has a pull.
And lots of people, I think, have that quiet thought, maybe this could be home. Swapping the daily grind for a walk along the coast or a cozy pub,
Absolutely, that dream of a different pace of life.
whether it's ancestry calling or just wanting something, well, a bit more soulful. Ireland really does seem to spark that idea of making a big change.
And that's really what we want to get into today, moving past the lovely dream into the actual practical things you need to sort out if you genuinely want to settle in Ireland.
Okay.
We're aiming to pull out the key bits of information, the essentials, to help you see how that spark could become, a real plan.
Right. So starting with the basics, the absolute foundation for anyone thinking about moving, which is visas and residency. Now, for listeners from the UK or the EU, it's relatively simple, isn't it?
Yes, generally speaking, existing agreements make that move much more straightforward. It's less complicated.
But it changes quite a bit if you're coming from further afield, say the US, Canada, Australia, South Africa.
It does significantly. For anyone outside the EU, getting the right visa is, well, it's essential. You absolutely need one. Our sources outline a few main routes. There's what's called Stamp 1.
Stamp one, okay.
That's mainly for people who've already got a job offer in Ireland. So it's really about bringing in people who will contribute to the economy straight away.
Makes sense, a direct employment route.
Hmm.
What about other situations, like studying, or maybe someone thinking about retiring there? And what do these stamps actually mean?
Good question. They're not just stamps, they're specific permissions. Each stamp gives you certain rights and maybe limitations too. For students in full-time courses, there's Stamp 2.
Right, for studying.
Exactly. And then for retirees, or perhaps people with enough independent money to support themselves, there's Stamp 0. That one often comes with more rules about working or using public funds, so self-sufficiency is key there.
And you mentioned Irish ancestry. That sounds quite unique.
It really is. It's a powerful connection for many. If you can prove you have Irish grandparents, you might actually be eligible for citizenship through descent.
Which means?
Well, essentially, full Irish and therefore EU citizenship rights. It opens up a lot, not just in Ireland, but across Europe. It reflects that strong link Ireland maintains with its diaspora.
That's fascinating.
Definitely. But for all the specifics, the most up-to-date requirements, application details for every stamp type, people really must check the official source, www.irishimmigration.ie. That's the definitive place to go.
Okay, essential first step noted. So once you started figuring out the entry rules, the next exciting part is where? Ireland's got such varied places to live. How do you choose?
Yes, this is where you start picturing it more clearly. The information points to sort of three main kinds of environment. First, there's city life. If you want bustle, culture, job opportunities.
Like Dublin?
Exactly. Dublin's a big hub for culture and careers. Then you got Galway, which is known for its brilliant energy, lots of music. And Cork, really popular for its own charm and great food.
So proper city options. But what if you want something a bit quieter than that, but not totally isolated, something in between?
Yes, absolutely. For that kind of balanced community feel, but still convenient, the sources suggest looking at mid-sized towns, places like Kilkenny, steeped in history, or maybe Killarney, which is very picturesque, or Westport over in Mayo.
Nice balance.
They often have a slower pace than the big cities, but plenty going on. Good local services, strong identity.
And the third option, the real escape.
That would be the rural retreat. For people really seeking that peace, the stunning scenery, think about places like the Dingle Peninsula or rugged Donegal, or perhaps little villages in County Clare. Real seclusion, amazing landscapes.
Sounds idyllic.
Yeah.
And potentially more affordable.
Often, yes. That's a key point. Compared to the cities, especially Dublin, homes in rural areas can be surprisingly more affordable. It's that trade-off, swapping some urban conveniences for space and nature.
That makes a lot of sense. And linking to affordability, let's talk work and income. Crucial for most people moving, what are the main industries someone might look at?
Well, Ireland's got several strong sectors. Tech and finance are really big, especially clustered around Dublin, and also Cork. Lots of multinational companies, but also startups.
Okay, tech and finance. What else?
Tourism and hospitality are huge, naturally. That's vibrant right across the island, loads of jobs there, particularly in tourist hotspots. And then healthcare and education are always looking for people in towns and cities everywhere. Steady demand.
Right. What about working remotely? Is that a viable option in most places? And are there other ways to make a living, maybe less traditional routes?
Remote working is definitely possible. Generally, broadband is pretty reliable in most regions, which is great for flexibility. You do need to be aware, though, that some very rural spots might still have connectivity issues, worth checking carefully for a specific location.
Good tip.
And the sources also mention that for people who are semi-retired or maybe self-employed, life outside the big cities can be quite affordable. You can live comfortably, maybe on a bit less.
That's encouraging.
Plus, there are seasonal jobs too, things linked to tourism, working on farm stays, outdoor activities. Quite common, especially out west. Fits what if you're looking for that lifestyle change?
Okay, let's tackle the elephant in the room, or maybe the cloud, the weather. Everyone talks about the rain in Ireland. How much does it really dominate things?
Yes, the weather question. It comes up a lot. And look, yes, it rains. But that rain is precisely why it's so incredibly green, which is a huge part of the charm, isn't it?
True, the Emerald Isle.
The sources give some detail. The wettest bits tend to be along that Atlantic West Coast counties like Kerry, Clare, Mayo get quite a bit of rain.
Right. But interestingly, April, May, and September are often the driest months. You can get lovely, crisp, clear days then, perfect for getting out. And the east and southeast, places like Wexford and Waterford, actually get more sunshine than people expect. They're often the brightest spots.
So it's not uniformly gray?
Not at all. And the advice is spot on, really. You just have to embrace it, get some good waterproof boots, a proper raincoat, and honestly, you do start to appreciate that sound of drizzle.
Yeah.
It's just part of it.
Okay, so we've covered visas, where to live, work, even the weather. What about the people, the culture? The sources call the community spirit Ireland's greatest export. How does that feel day to day?
This is central, isn't it? It often means you can feel like you belong quite quickly. It's all about community, that culture, and
Yeah.
the famous Craig.
Explain Craig a little.
Well, it's that unique mix of fun, good conversation, atmosphere, just general sociability and warmth you find, often in the pub but elsewhere too. It's about connection.
And how do you connect? How do you become part of it? The sources suggest practical things. Maybe join a local GAA club, that's the Gaelic Athletic Association, huge in Ireland, covers sports like hurling, Gaelic football, or volunteer at a festival, loads of those. Or, honestly, just saying hello, chatting at the local shop.
Simple things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Small actions that show you're engaging. In many villages and towns, neighbors sharing stories, just showing up for each other, those things still really matter. It's about being present in the community.
That sounds really appealing. What about the Irish language, Gailge? Do you need to be fluent?
No, absolutely not. Fluency in Irish isn't needed for everyday life in most of the country. English is spoken everywhere. But the material does suggest that learning even just a few words, a cúpla focal, can really go a long way. It shows respect for the culture, and locals tend to appreciate it.
Makes sense.
More important than fluency, though, is maybe tuning into the rhythm of the place. Our sources often describe it as, well, slower, perhaps kinder, more rooted. It's a different pace, and adapting to that is part of the experience. A lifestyle change, really.
So, bringing it all together, the visas, the locations, the work, the rain, the Craig, we end up back where we started with that core question. Would you really trade it all for that dream of Ireland? Not the postcard version, but the real thing.
Yeah.
The misty mornings, the muddy boots, the pub nights, maybe getting stuck behind sheep on the road. That feeling of just breathing out.
And if that idea, that feeling just keeps nagging at you, if it won't quite go away, then maybe it is time to look into it more seriously, to see if that dream could actually work for you.
And if you're feeling ready to explore that more, to keep that connection going and get a real sense of Ireland,
Then you should definitely check out the Love Ireland newsletter. It's described as the #1 daily letter for anyone who dreams of Ireland, lives there already, or is planning the move.
daily, you say.
Yes, every day, straight to your inbox. It covers everything from stunning towns and cultural insights to travel tips and slices of daily life. It's a brilliant way to stay connected, and it's completely free to subscribe.
Excellent. So perhaps the final thought to leave you with is this. Beyond the landscapes and the welcome, what deeper change might embracing a new life, a whole new way of being in Ireland, actually bring about for you?